Alright, so gotta make a follow-up vid to the Raw review. I legitimately enjoyed the show. I thought it had a lot of good matches on it, and they were good matches. The wrestling quality improved. Now, the matches weren't amazing. They weren't breathtaking, but they were better. That is why I said that it was a very good show, and not an excellent show, but it was. And the thing is, I don't like the current storylines in WWE. I don't think that the Ryback Cena storyline is good at all. It sucks fucking dick. What I do like is this. This is what I like out of a wrestling show. I like when it's more Ring of Honor-ish. When it's just some good matches. They gave the matches some time. And they prospered. You know, not to like a Ring of Honor level of matches. But we got some decent quality matches. I mean, I'm looking at a match like Del Rio versus Cesaro, or even Orton and Rhodes, and the matches were pretty good. Ziggler and Kofi, you know, it was a decent match, and I got a lot of people raging at me, saying that, you know, I suck and I'm a hypocrite and all this fucking bullshit. And to this, I gotta say, calm down. I'm sure that Raw is gonna suck next week. This is the crazy thing, is that, you know, people want the WWE to suck. You've got a whole bunch of psychopaths out there, you know, not talking about my subs, but just people in general, you know, that are just, they're crazy. They're never satisfied when WWE does something good. For example, when they do Punk versus Cena, everybody hates Cena so much it clouds their judgment, and they don't even appreciate the match at all, which is a shame, because it was a 5-star match, and it's like, how are you gonna like not appreciate that? You know, say you're into baseball. It's the Yankees and the Red Sox, but you truly hate the Red Sox because they're the mortal enemies of the Yankees. Okay, so with that point in mind, you know, you're not going to say that the game between the Yankees and the Red Sox suck, you know, because they have like a big-time rivalry there, and it's usually very exciting games for baseball fans. And that's how it is a lot of times, too. Cena was in the Shield match, but he lost that match. And that was also a pretty good match, too. I almost forgot to mention that one. That was a main event. That was the first time that we got a real main event on Raw that felt like a fucking main event and didn't feel like some pussy-ass fucking thrown together battle royal or some shit like that. Come on. That's, you know, this is just the truth here. Raw was better. I'm not saying that, you know, oh, this is it. I'm going to be supporting WWE 24/7. You know, this is not what I'm saying. There was nowhere in the video where I said I'm a WWE mark. You got people saying I'm fucked. They're saying that I'm just, I don't know. It's a lot of anger. I'm not allowed to say anything good about this company, apparently. I'm only good unless I'm bashing it hardcore. But here's the thing. When they do something good, I'm like one of the few people here on YouTube that speaks the truth. I gotta say that they did good. You know, nothing really happened on this show. I could see where they're going with that. But when something happens on this show, like Ryback turning heel and cutting promos, you know, and shit like that. If that's what you consider something happening on Raw, I don't want any part of that. That I don't like. That is what I find fucking boring. So, you know, if you want something that happens, you know, then you probably want to show like last week, you know, something happened. The Shield was beating up Ryback. You know, that nothing has happened on Raw that has been significant in years. In fucking years. Nothing significant at all. And, you know, what else would we get out of last night? You know, if they didn't give us the good matches, we would have got more build-up between Triple H and Brock Lesnar, which is always boring. You guys know I'm a gigantic Lesnar fan, but I can't stand this feud with Triple H. Triple H is just past his prime fucking eons past his prime. And no one, of course, nobody in the YWC likes to realize that. I'm like one of the few guys that says that Triple H is moving like a boulder in there. The guy can barely move anymore. Alright? So that's the thing, we should hate on WWE because most of the time they put out shit. But when they do a good show, we should recognize it. When they give us good matches that are not lazy, thrown together piles of shit like on Raw, where they actually took the time, allowed the wrestlers to put some effort into the matches, and they flowed pretty well. They were matches that we're not going to really remember them after a couple of weeks, but some of them were pretty damn good, and I enjoyed the show. That's all I'm asking here, is that when WWE does a good show, if we want them to continue to give us good matches, then, we have to take the good with the bad sometimes. I see a lot of people saying that, the Fandango dance-off ruined the show. That segment was only like fucking 8 minutes. The tug of war was like 10 minutes. Okay, so that was shit. But the fucking show is 3 hours. And thank God that most of those 3 hours were filled up with decent to good wrestling matches. So, you gotta take the good with the bad. Otherwise, if you don't and you just complain only, you're only gonna get bad. Because that's how it is with the WWE. I've noticed that. Complain too fucking much. When they do give us good shit, they're only going to do bad, The same thing with Mania. People didn't even really acknowledge how good Punk and Taker was. Everybody just complained, and then we just got it got even worse after that. We're just lucky that we got good matches. Vince McMahon decided to have some good matches on Raw. It was a fucking miracle, especially after last week's disaster of a show. Alright, so just think about what I said here in this video. Don't, fucking go all out bashing the company and lose sight that sometimes WWE is going to do some good shit. It's not just going to be a whole show of horribleness all the time. Sometimes they do good matches, and when they do good matches, we should appreciate it, acknowledge it, make vids about it, and shit like that here in the YWC. Instead, people want to just make it just total craziness where it doesn't even make sense because we're just going to bash everything, and we're even going to bash the good stuff. That doesn't make any sense. That's what I hate about the YWC. Alright, go sit in the corner and think about what you've done. Ha ha!